Coping mechanisms exist for a reason. It's also known as buffering. They help us to get through hard seasons of life, but what helped you to survive one chapter can quietly sabotage your next chapter. Welcome to your daily hit of grace and grit, your quick dose of inspiration to kickstart your day. This show is proudly sponsored by Rumble and Rise. To find out more about joining Rumble and Rise, head on over to graceandgrit.com/ready to rumble. I'm Courtney Townley, and here is today's hit. Many women reach midlife realizing the ways in which they have learned to manage stress. Overworking, numbing with food or alcohol, people-pleasing, perfectionism, controlling are no longer sustainable because it's costing them too much. And these patterns, I always remind them, they come from a really good place. They come from a place of desperately needing to manage stress and not having other ways to do that. They are ways that you have self-soothed in the past. They helped you to navigate difficult circumstances, earn approval, or maintain a sense of safety. But they were never meant to be permanent. But for many of us, they become patterns ultimately that cost us our health and happiness. Neuroscience shows that coping strategies are learned responses. They're formed often when the nervous system is under threat. Over time, these responses become automatic, even when the original threat is gone. The brain defaults to what's familiar, not what is helpful. And that's a bummer. Dr. Bessel van der Kolk, author of The Body Keeps the Score, explains that as long as you keep secrets and suppress information, you are fundamentally at war with yourself. The critical issue is allowing yourself to know what you know. And that takes an enormous amount of courage. Outgrowing coping mechanisms, that's brave work. That requires courage. It means acknowledging what worked before or at some time in your life no longer serves you. And it's a willingness to lean into discomfort. It means facing discomfort without the familiar escape route that you've used in the past. Outgrowing coping mechanisms doesn't mean that they were wrong. It means your capacity has changed. Your awareness has changed. You're no longer a woman who needs to prove her worth through exhaustion. You're no longer the woman who has to stay small to remain safe. You're no longer the woman who believes that her value comes from how much she can endure. Replace your mechanisms. The nervous system needs alternatives. The nervous system needs self-soothing. It will need self-soothing the rest of your life because life is stressful. But it's a matter of replacing things that are harming your health with things that are actually helping your health in the long run. Things like walking instead of drinking, right? Or numbing in front of Netflix. Pausing instead of pushing. Asking for help rather than trying to hold it all. Writing instead of ruminating, right? Journaling. I'm such a huge fan of journaling because I really think it gives us so much exposure to what's truly going on. Your nervous system needs connection instead of isolation. These aren't just better habits. They're expressions of a new relationship you're cultivating with yourself. So all this to say, midlife isn't really about coping better. It's about living more honestly. And that honesty begins with recognizing when old patterns no longer fit who you're committed to becoming. If this stirred something inside of you, imagine what a whole book of clarity and courage could ignite. The Consistency Code, a midlife woman's guide to deep health and happiness, goes even deeper into the mindset and practices that create real, meaningful change at midlife. Grab your copy today over at theconsistencycode.com and keep the momentum alive.